Welcome to our session. I'm Zeinab Alameddine. I'm working since for 2 years at Porsche Holding. I'll be presenting today with my colleague Tamara Lawrence, who's an expert in sustainable finance at Porsche Holding, at Porsche Bank, sorry. And let's begin. Should we? Okay. So, I cannot see it so much. Okay, pass. Can I try? No, sorry. Okay, I'm trying some stuff here, but it's okay. So in the beginning, I will give an overview about Porsche Holding, and then I will explain a little bit about our sustainability strategy. Tamara will continue by explaining sustainable finance, and I will go forward in the green building topic. So Porsche Holding is the largest automotive retail company in Europe. It was founded in 1949 by Ferdinand Porsche, two children. It has a workforce of around 35,000. We sold by end of 2022 665,000 new vehicles, and we have a turnover of 25.8 billion. We have wholesale, resale operations in total 29 countries, and they are represented in 531 dealership. So Porsche Holding is divided in 4 divisions: wholesale, retail, financial service, and IT systems. Porsche Holding represents, matter of fact, the brand of Volkswagen AG in wholesale, resales, after sales, and servicing. Porsche Holding is also responsible for the wholesale distribution of and import of Volkswagen AG brands and across Austria, Southern East Europe, Colombia, Chile, Malaysia, and Singapore. And the financial service is financial service, and Porsche Holdings offers its customers leasing, lending service via Porsche Bank. You probably will explain it later. And concerning leasing and financing, Porsche Bank AG is a market leader in Austria. We have also Porsche Informatik, which operates and develop IT systems in Porsche Holding and in Volkswagen AG. Regarding TVZ, it is the sport part distribution center in Austria. Matter of fact, it's near Salzburg. We distribute here original part of Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche, Seat, Skoda original parts, and these brands are supplied in 18 markets. 10 of them are supplied directly with TVZ. I went there twice, and it is huge. A colleague told me if you order a part from there in Eastern Europe, you will have this part in 24 hours with a very high probability. That means like 98 or 99.8, I forgot. But if you order it next day, you will have it. Regarding dealership or retail division, we have 31 dealership across Europe, Asia, and South America. And China is an emerging country for us, and we are also expanding our network. Until now, we have 39 dealership in China. Regarding Austria, we have 44 dealership, and they belong to Porsche Interauto. Porsche Interauto as well do sales auto, but also do the after service and repairing. Genau. So transport, we know all of us, it is like 20% of the whole CO2 emissions. We, as a part of the Volkswagen AG, indirectly generates approximately 1% of the global CO2 emissions, or Volkswagen AG, so to say, because it produces 1 to 8 autos. It is responsible to 1 to 8 autos. 1 to 8 auto sold worldwide, exactly. So we have two main objectives to reduce our CO2 emissions. First of all, yeah, it's very bad. Okay, I can also, first of all, is less 30% CO2 from 2030. We have the baseline of 2021, and we want to increase the share of BEV to more than 55%. BEV are battery electrical vehicles. Exactly. So our total CO2 emissions is 113 ton of CO2. We can see scope 1 and scope 2. The 23% here are related to mobility, the fuels to mobility. That means kerosene, petrol, etc. that are generated by fuels that are generated by vehicle used internally and with the Porsche Airjet. The other ones are related to building, and we can see 38% that are related to electricity for heating, cooling, etc. We have 40% district heating, 2% oil, and 20% gas. We achieved 4% to our 4% reduction comparing to 2021. And you can see these are the direct emission, scope 1, scope 2, from our own buildings and from our fleet. Yes, scope 3 here is not shown, but an estimate an estimate showed that we have 150 times scope 1, scope 2. The amount of scope 3, 150 times the amount of scope 1 and scope 2. Exactly. So the organization structure is a part, the sustainability is a part of the organization structure of Porsche Immobilien, Porsche Holding. It was implemented 2022. And you can see we decided to have 5 focus field, and each focus field has operative and strategic management. I'm, for example, responsible operative leader of focus field 4 green building. And it's a part of the whole organization structure also in the countries. The sustainability management that I'm also in here is anchored in Porsche Immobilien, and is a charge also coordinating sustainable development through Porsche Holding. At country level, we have sustainability coordinator and focus field managers. They are the one who drive change at a local level. So I will go later on, and my colleague, especially with green finance, will go in detail about the green finance, and I will go in green building, but just to give you an idea about it. So we have, as I mentioned, these 5 focus fields. One is zero emission, the other one green finance, circular economy, green buildings, and green retail. Every of these focus field has a vision, and with this vision, of course, there is targets and measures that are implemented, or they are now implemented. And for these measures, we have KPI to control them. For zero emission mobility, probably it's important for you to know that we want to increase the BEV shares for the car that we sold, but also that we use internally, while also improving the condition for infrastructure. And for green finance, colleague will be talking about it. And but generally it's about developing innovative sustainable finance product for e-mobility. Circular economy is about the sustainable procurement and logistic. Green building, it's about building sustainable buildings that are resource efficient. And green retail, we want to improve the operation of retails. That means less energy, less water, less waste, etc. All of these photos that you see, they are a part of the sustainability strategy. Our sustainability strategy, we have the motto, let's win the race, because we know that to achieve climate targets, it will be a race of all of us. Sorry, and Tamara?
Okay, now I'm going to present you the focus field 2. It is about green finance. So the focus field 2 of the Porsche holding strategy is represented by the Porsche Bank Group and first of all, the Porsche Bank Group is represented in 15 countries, not in all of the countries where the Porsche holding is represented. Maybe it's already important to say that we have around 1,500 employees, whereof 560 employees are in Austria. So we are very big in Austria. And we have many representations in Eastern Europe, but also, as you can see, we are represented in Chile and Colombia, which is also kind of a challenge because sorry, I'm a little bit confused by the loudness. Maybe you could switch it a little bit down. Because Chile and Colombia, the infrastructure for the electric vehicles is not that good as it is in Europe, for example. And so this is also one of our challenges to finance BEVs there, because it's kind of not existing in infrastructure, and in the end it counts into the whole number of our KPIs. So it slows the overall number. So, right. Okay, to understand our sustainability strategy, it's also important to know what we are doing. So the Porsche Bank does not only finance Porsche cars. The Porsche Bank is financing all brands of Volkswagen Group. So, for example, you can see below it is Seat, it is Cupra, it is also Audi, but also Ducati. And it's not only about financing for private persons, for companies, or for dealers. It's also that we have included an insurance, and we have a fleet management. So we offer complete fleet management for customers. We do car reselling. We offer limited bank services, but it's all about deposits. It's not that we are doing transaction business for banks. And we also offer car rental. For example, in Austria, the Europe car also belongs to Porsche Bank Group. And we have the Share 2 rent. And what is very new is the new mobility sector. It is consisting of Share 2 car sharing, which is most known in Austria also, and also Auto-Abo. But I'm coming to this on the next slides then. The difference between Share 2 car sharing and Share 2 Auto-Abo is that, for example, you have different durations of the rent. For Share 2 car sharing, you can, for example, book for 10 minutes. If you need a car just for 10 minutes, you can just go there and book via app. And if you need a car for longer, so example from months to years, I think it's up to 2 years, you can book the car via the auto abo. So one part of our strategy of the Porsche Bank Group is to go away from this just financing cars and come to the car sharing models and financing of car sharing. And what is also very special about the Share 2 car sharing, the Share 2 fleet is just existing of electric cars, so you don't have you don't have a diesel, or you don't have any emissions then by booking these cars. What we also have, we have the smart driver insurance rate. So this is a special insurance rate, which is a sustainable insurance rate. It gives the users the opportunity to track how they drive. So if the driver shows a very sustainable driving behavior, then it's possible to save up to 20% of the insurance rate of the monthly. But of course, it is still in development, the smart driver app, but at least I think it's a good idea. And it helps the people to save a little bit money, and it's also a very sustainable product. So, and then what we also have, which was not shown on the previous slide, we also have a cooperation with Moon. Moon, for example, Moon is offering equipment for electric cars, for example, loading stations and photovoltaic systems, especially for bigger companies. But they also do consulting to everything related with sustainability, and we offer this. We have this cooperation with Moon, also to finance the, for example, photovoltaic systems, and also to finance the equipment which the customers need when they buy, for example, an electric car. So, okay, I see the time is running a little bit, but let's go through this very quick. The mega trends which are affecting our business strategy most, from my point of view, it is the pressure of society, but also the changing consumer behavior, because I mean, at the moment we have we have in Austria at least the situation that the energy prices are very, very high, and so it's very hard for us to meet our goals we set by selling this special number of electric cars, for example, and by reaching our goals. Because electric cars, of course, they are one part of our strategy, but it can't be only this, because now that the energy prices are very high, the people have to think twice or three times if they really want to buy an electric car. So on the one hand, they want to buy electric cars, but some just really cannot afford it, because if you have to refill, if you have to load your car, you have to think about it. It could be at least double price than if you just load go by fuel. So it's still cheaper to have a diesel or a petrol car instead of having an electric car. And but also the change in consumers' behavior shows that, for example, car sharing models are very popular. most of all the young people really like the shared two services of us. And yeah, this is why we're really growing. So each year you can see the number of car sharing services is very, very high, requested by the customers. And yeah, I mean, it's also a good trend to go away from this just financing cars and also finance this car sharing services. So I'm going to skip the other points because I think, yeah, the regulation and Paris alignment, you all know about the challenges of our regulations. So, and also I have to skip this one, but when we have our question round, then we can go deeper into this if someone is interested. Yeah, the calculation of the CO2 footprint for the Porsche Bank Group, for example. I mean, it's a nice example for how to do the calculation of the CO2 footprint for a car financing bank. So the Scope 1 emissions, the direct emissions, they contain our own fleet, for example, and for example the heating. The Scope 2 emissions, for example, contain the purchase of energy. So the Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions, they are not really big for the Porsche Bank Group. But the Scope 3 emissions, it should contain all the financed cars. So for us, it's not the biggest challenge to have the data, but some other car financing banks which are not directly in association with the with Volkswagen concern, where for example the car is coming from, they could have troubles. So I mean, it could be a challenge if we want to say how, we can just have some approaches. What average emissions the car has emitted, but we don't have the concrete numbers. And I think, we could have some technical solutions maybe in future, which allows to track the exactly emissions of cars we have financed. But now it is not really an option. So it is just an average. Then we can take of the Scope 3 emissions of financed cars. So then. And I will make it very quick. So we have round about 100 regulatory requirements, but it's not and we really try to meet them all, and sometimes also are doing better. But in the end, what really is counting is that the sustainability also begins in the mindset of our people and of our employees. And we have really great sustainability projects which people do beside their working hours. For example, to mention just some examples, at Porsche Bank Croatia, they, for example, helped at the children's. Where is it? Let me look. I don't want to mix it up. Right. There I have it. At Porsche Finance Group Croatia, they were rebuilding a children's home, and they did it like on one day, and it was in their free time. And in Porsche Financial Group Serbia, for example, they planted an own Porsche Bank forest, which is also, I mean, it is now 70 trees, something like this, but it's a great action, I think. And yes, if someone is interested, I think he or she can ask me the questions then later.
So I have 3 minutes. I have to be fast.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's not a big deal. I can manage it. So green buildings. It's focus field 4. So we have 2 KPIs and other KPIs that are not with numbers, so to say. So we want to reduce the CO2 emission 30%. We want to have certified new buildings, DED, GMB, etc., 100% from 2023. And we allocated our building into efficiency classes. I have to skip also these ones, but building is around, it would be around 74,000 ton of CO2. Electricity alone is 38%, and the other one, gas, district heating, and gas 22%. So the environmental policy that we adopted, not only we want to reduce 30%, but also we want to increase the efficiency by 30%. We want to expand the use of renewable energy by 30%, phase out oil by 2030, and phase out fossil fuel energy 2040. We are in good track. The emission has been reduced by 7% in 22 comparing to 2021. So first of all, regarding to energy efficient classes, so we allocated the dealership into efficiency classes from A bis F. And they are done with 2 criteria, CO2 emission and energy efficiency, because for us, a building that has low energy but high CO2 is bad, and the one who has high energy and low CO2 is also not good building. And according to it, we define measures. If we go horizontally or vertically, we see the weakness, and it's a part of our targets. And the second one is like the certified building. 2 of them until now, they are gold certified. The one is Porsche Graz Liebenau. It is also zero neutral. Audi Augsburg is also a DGNB Gold 4 certification. We have other projects in pipeline in Germany. And so we are going forward in this direction. So I have 2 minutes. We also put Minden standards for new buildings. That means we had here our catalog, and we said if you want to build the new buildings, you have to look at the U values. You have to see, for example, as you see, for example, an example building quality. There's like fixed U values for technical facilities, what kinds of heating generation, what kind of cooling, and also if you want to build a new building, you have to do environment. If you want to buy a new building, etc., you have to do environmental due diligence and technical due diligence. So it's a part of the quality seal for sustainable building. We have also 6-point plans for building renovation, and we have a PV offensive. 26 PV were installed in Austria between 27 and 2020 with 2.3 megawatt peak, and we are now planning and also implementing another one, and we want to achieve by end of 2028 135 with 22 megawatt peak. So 6-point plans, for example, thermal renovation, major thermal renovation, or individual thermal renovation, energy efficient measures, for example, hydronic balancing, refrigerant, changing the refrigerant, updating LED. Yeah, and we can see here in green, these are the companies, these are the countries that have higher, the top 5 high CO2 emissions, and they are 60% from our whole CO2 emissions. And if you remember, 38% is electricity from our CO2 emission. That means with PIVHA we can go forward and yeah, maybe less things. We have a group directive 17 that describe or defines the environmental compliance management systems. Sorry, okay. And the key process of this legal compliance, operational, environmental risk management, staff training, and communication. The legal requirement, maybe I can skip it, but we have also we have a register where we, which is in HESA, where we check the applicability, and we do like every 6 months to check that all legal legal compliance is done correctly. And we have like for every country like a SMS, a point of contact, who is responsible in every country in this. Okay. So, but I can talk into detail later on. I have too much interesting things to say about building. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Zeinab and Tamara.